Hey guys, a lot of you who watched my video about why LS must succeed that I released the day he was fired requested to see my original video about why I thought he would fail from December 2021, right after his hiring was announced. Well, here it is. I think you'll agree that most of it has aged pretty well given what we know now. Enjoy. It has just been officially announced that LS will become the new head coach of Cloud9, a move I have watched develop with great interest. I've been a C9 fan for many years and I root for them before any other team. In this video, I'm going to share why I think LS will be a bad fit for C9, but I don't think that him failing is a foregone conclusion. So I'm going to share where I believe he can use his skills to elevate the team. I don't know exactly what I'm going to title this video, but it'll probably be something like, Why I Think LS Will Fail as C9 Coach. And that's not really what I want to title it. I want something with more nuance. I don't think it's guaranteed he will fail, but if I give it a more reasonable title like, There's a chance LS fails as C9 Coach, it will get diminished by the YouTube algorithm. Controversy gets eyeballs. I just started this YouTube thing recently, and I'm proud to have gotten over 1,000 subs pretty quickly, but I'm not satisfied. Next I want 10,000, then 100,000. And to do that, you have to play the algorithm game. Nuanced thoughts aren't rewarded, they are punished. Firebrands rise to the top. That's a problem with modern day social media. And in LS, you have a guy who already has an iconoclastic personality being pushed towards extreme positions because he is rewarded for them. You get more eyeballs on your content. You make more money by screaming from the mountaintop that you are 100% sure of something. Guys like LS and Thorne have made a very comfortable career off saying provocative things as though they were totally true. Have you guys heard of cognitive dissonance? It's the discomfort in the mind that comes from holding contradictory beliefs. It's a very well-studied psychological stress. They've done studies where they paid people around $10 to tell others that doing a task like digging a ditch was a fun and engaging thing. Before the study, the same people were asked to rate if they thought ditch digging was an interesting task. And not surprisingly, these people said they didn't think it was. But after they were paid money to tell others how great ditch digging is, they surveyed them again, and the same people who said it was boring decided it was actually an interesting task after they'd been paid money to say so. The reason that people do this is because we, as humans, are really good at protecting ourselves. People in general don't want to view themselves as a sellout, a shill, or anything like that. Our brain protects itself. Have you ever had a friend who started having a controversial opinion just to troll people, but then, pardon my French, started believing his own bullshit? That's cognitive dissonance. Even jokingly taking a position can lead our mind to adjust to start believing it to prevent more discomfort. Have you ever started ironically saying a stupid new word as a joke, and then after a little while you just found yourself saying it naturally? I have, and it's pretty lit. Now, have you ever wondered why these pundits that we seem to follow in both league and outside the game seem to start believing their own takes more and more? It's because they are rewarded for doing just that. They're being paid money to have these strong opinions, and if they don't, they'll get less money. It's really easy to see how cognitive dissonance can lead people to start buying into their own hot takes that they originally threw out to be controversial and drive engagement, but then they start believing those takes themselves. In the field of ESPNtology, this is called SAS, Stephen A. Smith syndrome.
You know, I said top 5 player in the NBA.
We don't know what the subject is because the fact of the matter is I'll let you talk. I didn't say a word. Not a word. I actually sat here. I actually sat here and listened to your flagrant ignorance.
And just to be clear, I'm not claiming I'm immune to being sassy. Right now, I don't have any opinion about Raid Shadow Legends. If they want to pay me $1,000 to tell you how good it is, maybe I'll start thinking it's a really fun game with over 150 amazing characters to try. So, back to our Cloud9 situation. We have LS, a 28-year-old who made his career by having sharp opinions that draw eyeballs. He's been analyzing League of Legends, he's coached other players before, and he's had very brief stints as a coach of several teams. And over here we have Lincoln Riley. He's one of the youngest coaches in the top level of American college football. He just left University of Oklahoma after a very successful stint, and now he's a head coach at the University of Southern California. At the age of 38, he's being paid multi-millions a year to coach, and he's rocketed to the top of the sport. But when you look at his career, you'll see he put in almost 20 years of work to get to this position. And after 20 years, he's still considered a very young head coach. It is hard to get respect as a young person in your field. This is true everywhere, but it's especially true in coaching. It is especially hard to overcome doubt when you go against the orthodoxy and try to innovate. I am worried that LS will try to bring his innovations, but the players and management will not buy into it. I don't want to say this pairing is doomed to fail, like a Rise Ultimate and ARAM, but it's a concern of mine. I'm especially concerned that Ellis has such a strong belief in his hot takes that he will dig in his heels and refuse to compromise. Remember, this dude has been making money for years now by ejaculating strong opinions because that's what the system rewards you for. It doesn't matter if people agree or disagree as long as they comment and share it with people. The system doesn't reward people who have nuanced takes and spend a lot of time explaining it. That doesn't drive eyeballs, as they say in the industry. Ellis has been giving hot takes for years and saying you are absolutely 100% wrong if you don't agree with him. Now that he's in a position where compromise is required, where there will be players with their own goals, corporate with its own goals, and LS with his own goals, will he be able to moderate himself? Or will he stick to the thing that has made him successful so far and say, we do it my way or else? Remember the cognitive dissonance that I mentioned earlier? Remember that even if you started acting this way as a meme, you often start believing in it because that's how your brain protects itself. Will this happen? I don't know. But if any of you listening are saying there is no chance, well, you are absolutely 100% wrong. There is also another route to failure, and that is that LS gets his way as far as drafting goes and it just doesn't work out. If the team 100% goes with his ideas, but they just don't come off as well, he will have to adapt. No plan survives first contact with the enemy. Something will go wrong, maybe major, maybe minor. When LS's deeply held beliefs aren't working, will he adjust, or will he say, it's the player's fault, or it's Riot's fault? And I don't want to just sit here and talk about how LS might fail without offering how he can succeed. These are some of the steps that I think can help him, and possibly you, in your career and hobbies. First, allow yourself to be limited. This one is intensely counterintuitive, but great men and women are often made great by their limitations, not their freedom. As humans, we strive to be unencumbered by any restriction, but throughout history, we have numerous examples of how working within limitations made something better. If you look at the original Star Wars, and you actually read what George Lucas wanted to do with it, it's actually pretty terrible. Much of the success of Star Wars can be credited to the team around Lucas, who reined in his worst excesses and was able to pick out and amplify little moments of genius from the rough cut. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend Rocket Jump's excellent video, How Star Wars Was Saved in the Edit. When Lucas was given complete control, and no one had any power to change his vision, we got something more memeable, but much worse as a film.
I don't like sand.
The statue of David is considered by many to be the finest piece of sculpture ever made, and it made its creator Michelangelo so famous that he was invited to join a team of crime-fighting turtles. The original piece of marble that was given to Michelangelo wasn't the right size and was rejected by other sculptors, but he took it and he carved David with a curved contrapposto pose and turned his head to the side because there literally was not enough marble to have him looking straight ahead. If David had been standing up straight and looked forward, it probably would not have captured the imagination of the world like this statue did. The limitations made it something better. Great art is often made greater because of limitations placed on artists. Some of the best music came out during times of great censorship because artists had to work within a framework. In the modern world, you can say theoretically almost anything you want in a song, but that often leads to somehow less being said, not more. It's the difference between the person you fancy giving you a dirty look and them sending you a note that says, I would like to sex. Both get the point across, but one is a lot more exciting than the other. So embrace your restrictions, be they at work, school, or wherever you are in your community. Don't look for the safety of complete freedom. It's boring, it's easy. Go somewhere you are uncomfortable. Say things that others don't like. If they hate you for it, good. That means you stood up for something once in your life. But after you've stood up, be prepared to meet the other person halfway. Look for the nuance in life and don't get caught up in your own hot takes. When it comes to LS, I'm hopeful he can compromise, and I'm hopeful that C9 embraces his moments of genius. Compromise goes both ways. In the end, I'm extremely hopeful that LS does succeed as coach of Cloud9. I think that coaching in League of Legends is in a terrible place right now. Probably a topic for a future video. Thanks for watching my video. Subscribe if you think I earned it.